I give it all that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all that I have, I let it be, cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rains. Whole lot of globetrotter, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that, we sure gotta give it all raw now, like Don Dallas. All that I got will never stop. I give it all, straight to the top, will never fly. I give it all, they want me rock, I never blow. I give it all, whoa, what you say, my man? Give it all, whoa, hey, give it all, whoa, yeah, stand tall, give it all that I have, I let it be, cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. Apply to your addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
In order to begin the Rob Sheldon Ford dedication ceremony, I would like to introduce Shane Grove, one of Coach Sheldon's alumni players and friend.
Did you say friend? So before we get started here, I want to apologize in advance to a gentleman I see over there, Todd Martin. Listen, Gavin, Coach are in the gym here. I may be inclined to set a pick on you tonight, okay, so I'm just giving you a heads up, all right? Before we get started, I do want to point out and acknowledge a couple people in the gym tonight. I think it's really cool that Jay Dennison, who is one of Coach's first players, is actually on the bench coaching here at Wynford. It's kind of a cool bridge between the way past and the current. I also would like to thank a couple guys, Coach Ginther and Coach Thompson. Those guys were gracious enough back when me and some of the other guys played to contribute to our win total and some league championships. So that was really nice of those guys. Is Coach Thompson in here to hear that? That's too bad. The other people I'd like to acknowledge first is the fans, okay? The Wynford and Crawford's it's kind of cool that this is Wynford and Crawford because these are two of the greatest fan bases in Crawford County, in the state of Ohio, as far as I'm concerned. And getting a chance to play here in front of you guys and against the Colonel Crawford players and fans over the years. While it was very competitive, it was always very respectful, and it's what makes living here in this small community great. It's what makes our community something special. So I could tell a lot of funny stories about Coach Sheldon. Yeah, I know. There's a couple guys, where's Stove at? Who's got Stove under control? Who are really worried that I might say something. But I will admit, I was threatened with bodily harm by some bald guy if I got out of line. When I hear the words bodily harm coming from him, it took me immediately as a flashback to a thing called the turkey, okay? And I see a lot of smiles from the guys across from me because they know what's coming. Now, if you in the stands don't know what a turkey is, the turkey is when you take a wide open palm and lovingly place it onto bare skin, okay? To give you a better example, in today's age, it would be like me and Phil Crosso back in the day were two sides of beef on the Yellowstone Ranch, and Coach Sheldon was John Dutton, and the turkey was his way of marking the cattle there, okay? Branding the cattle, so to speak, all right? So I'm not going to tell any of those stories, okay? But I did for the last couple of weeks when I knew this was coming, I wanted to kind of talk about Coach's legacy and how his legacy still affects practically everybody in this gym, even today, okay? And when Coach first got the job here at Wynford, he was coming to a place that had a great foundation already set by the late, great Jim Bauer and Bernie Witzman, who followed him before Coach. And he was coming to a community of Wynford that had a great culture. They wanted to win, okay? And Coach was smart enough, despite what you guys have heard, he was smart enough, okay, to realize that if you want to build something that lasts and endures, you start from the bottom up, okay? That is what became Mini Royals, okay? So I'm looking at all these guys across, they were all Mini Royals at one time, and I remember I was probably one of the group of the first Mini Royals, and we would come in this very gym Saturday mornings with our heroes, the Steve Hartshoes, the Todd Millers, those guys who did not want to be here on Saturday mornings, okay? They had just played on Friday night. They didn't want to be here, but Coach knew it was important to build that relationship between the new kids coming and the old, the players that were present, that were the guys that we looked up to. And, I remember being in there in my Coke bottle glasses and my striped tube socks, and, so nobody worked hard enough with me on dribbling with my left hand for some reason. But there was Coach, no matter what happened the night before, yelling and screaming like a madman, and nobody could demonstrate a jump stop like him. Now, nobody in this gym on the floor right now could emulate that because we'd all have to have knee replacement. But, that was our first chance to get to know this guy, this man that would lead us and make us obsess about wanting to become a Wynford Royal. So, what's that matter to half the people in here who never saw Coach or any of us old guys play? Well, David gets the job at Colonel Crawford. And one of the first things he does is he implements Mini Eagles, okay? Because David's a pretty smart guy too. Not as smart as his dad, but he's pretty smart, okay? And what you see at Colonel Crawford is young kids who obsess, like we all did, okay? We all obsessed about becoming a Royal. Young kids obsessing about becoming an Eagle, okay? And that is because of his father, Coach Sheldon. So that legacy continues through David. And I know David's program is very successful because I'm part of an elementary program in Crawford County. David's teams boys, 3rd grade through 6th, they have 9 teams in this elementary league. Okay, that's more than schools in this league that are way bigger. Okay, that is David taking care of the foundation that was already laid at Colonel Crawford and building from the bottom up to create something successful, the same way Coach did. And I mentioned that league because I'll bet everybody in here has either coached, played, or watched a kid play in that league. I bet there isn't probably 10 people in here who haven't. And so when you go to those games and you see these kids having an opportunity to play and do something that kids in our area normally wouldn't have a chance to do if their coach wasn't taking care of their program, those seeds of that league were planted right here in this gym 30-some years ago in Mini Royals, okay? So when you guys go to, and coincidentally, that league starts tomorrow. Ironically though, there will be no games played on this court that have the guy who inspired the league. There won't be any games being played on this court tomorrow, although I think we will get that remedied, because if there's one thing I think we need to understand, and Coach has taught us, and David has taught us, is that we need to keep building upon the foundation that is already laid there for us if we're going to keep our community growing and strong. And so with that, we'll bring on the architect of the House of Thrills, who built upon that foundation, Rob Sheldon.
You know, here's the problem with giving the microphone to a guy who was not allowed to shoot in my program, and he's still holding that against me. I walk into the gym, I see Weisenhower. First thing he says is, "Coach, you know that's erasable?" I said, "What do you mean erasable?" He says, "Amy's got 403, you only got 401, your name's coming off." You know, and David says to me before we start this thing, "Dad, my guys are ready to play. Just keep it short, huh?" I look around, I'm back in the house. You can even see the championships in this gym. You know, the beauty of this court was when my guys and my coaches walked onto a game here, we knew we were going to win. Our great community knew we were going to win. The opponents and their community knew they probably weren't going to win. The only thing I had to do was to convince the officials not to screw it up. I've got my grandkids all sitting up here. None of you guys saw me coach. This is what I did. When you see Uncle David, it's a little different. I'd like to thank this community that I had an opportunity to spend some time here. It was a great 24 years, and it's been 23 years since I sat on that bench. This group of guys is why this name's here. Those coaches, why that name is there. I hope we have a good game tonight. I'm glad this is over. I was blessed the day I decided to come here. Mike Johnson, sitting at that table, took care of everyone here. And while he was sitting there, he also did a little coaching. Ronnie Sands, he was the board member on that first board that hired me. So those of you who are still ticked off, Ronnie's sitting right there. My administration, especially Big Papa, had my back all the time. I thank God every day. That I'm a Royal. Thank you.
I give it all. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never front. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rings. Whole lot of globetrotter, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that. We sure gotta. Me, 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. Apply the addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
I came from the dog pen. You want it, you get it, you drop dead. The rebel who came from the bottom. My enemies know that I got it. I'm planting my seeds in gardens, then watching them sprout and harvest. The greatest was always in my plans. Battle the kid is white flags. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game into stuff now. The city that need me is clear now. The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the
Sandman, I can tap dance through the energy blast. Run flat, never pop your orbit. I keep energy and storage. I see spinning the globe, my fingertip itch. If I could pluck the earthquake hit. Look at the wrist, look at your body, I shake it and shift. Big fish in a small pond, Godzilla with a boot on. I step into your lawn, turn skyscrapers into croutons. Hit the button going high speed, need a megaphone to announce me. I move through the pygmies in the top pit, got a big fleece. Sit back, better breathe deep. Look around and they looking at me. 10 toes still never defeat. Push button never needed a key. IC they ain't ready for me. Hot boy still 100 degrees. I cross eyes and I dotted the T's. E&D till I leave in peace.
The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the The people is giving the damage. The people is giving the
dedicated to one of the best coaches in Wynford basketball history. The Royals are looking to make some history here against Colonel Crawford in a classic Crawford County rivalry. Wynford, they've struggled early on in the year, but this, if they can pull it off, would be one of their biggest wins in this series of all time. You're going to see if they can get it done here tonight, live and free on the OH Report. It's Colonel Crawford taking on Wynford here on Facebook and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Home and kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, you know we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
Time now for your OH Report pregame show, brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. My name is Jonathon Langdon. Alongside me, Ryan Klinger from Baldwin-Wallace University. And we've got a good one tonight here in Crawford County. Wynford, they are taking on the Colonel Crawford Eagles. This is one of the biggest rivalries in this county, and it's even more special here tonight.
Yes, of course, honoring Coach Sheldon from Wynford, while his son coaching Colonel Crawford adds a little bit to this game, adds a little extra spice and sauce to magic to this special blend we got here this evening.
And I think it's exciting, too, because they did this intentionally. They knew that Coach Sheldon, he was going to be in town at some point this season. Might as well bring him in to the old gym for one time and get that dedication for his father. And he was standing center court. If you were with us for that ceremony, he was right on center court looking at his father as he gave his speech accepting this dedication to the court. So you'll see it on the floor from the camera's angle. There's one list where it says Rob Sheldon Court on the bottom, kind of by where Colonel Crawford's student section's at, and then there's also another spot on the court that you see on the bottom right of your screen right now. So dedication here today, and we're going to go ahead and see if Wynford can pull off an upset, because it's been tough going for them. They're also taking on a really good Colonel Crawford team that's 8-1 on the year, 5-0 in conference play.
Undefeated in the N10. And that's how it is for Colonel Crawford. This is business for them. They roll in every season thinking they are the best and expecting to be the best. That's what they've done so far this year. You see that they haven't played in a week, though. See if they got a little rust to kick off, or maybe it'll be back in business like always.
Yes, both teams' first games in 2025. Happy New Year to you, by the way, back at home. Player spotlight for Colonel Crawford. They've got a couple of guys that we could choose, but they've got a 1-2 punch, and we'll talk about that one. Brayden Holt, 17 points per game, and his point guard loves to distribute, comes in from Triway last year. He has been such a difference maker to this Colonel Crawford offense.
Yeah, he's attempted 39 threes this year. He's made 15. That gives him a 38.5% from three. That's a high number when you think about a guy his age in high school basketball shooting that well. He found his stroke there in the second half of their last game and shot some deep threes. Even though we're on a bit of a smaller court tonight, you're going to see him spread away from the three-point line.
Yeah, so you see him warming up out there at the moment, and we could kind of talk about his one. We talked about the 1-2 punch. We could talk about the two, because Payne Degray is the leading scorer for this team with 18 points per game, and that's where Holt's going to be looking to get the basketball most of this game.
Yeah, and Payne Degray going to be the reverse there. You're not going to see him spread the court. He's going to get the ball in the post, bully his way to the basket, and get some easy buckets for the Eagles.
Let's go ahead and talk about the Wynford Royals here at home. A special night. They'd love to get a special win for Coach Rob Sheldon. It's going to take some doing. 1-7, 1-5 in the conference.
Yeah, rough start so far for Wynford, but you feel like right now momentum is kind of on their side, even though we haven't even played a minute of this game. The fans showed out for Coach Rob Sheldon, and you feel like that's going to add a little something extra to this game for them.
Yeah, for sure. They're on a 3-game losing streak at the moment. You see all 3 of those scores right there on your screen, and then the big one that jumps out to me, 18 of the last 20 have went to the Eagles in this rivalry.
That's really the big number. It's got to be sticking in their mind. That's bulletin board stuff right there.
Exactly. And we're going to see if their player spotlight took that to heart here today. And it's Weston Prenger, who's 17 points per game. He's a sniper from downtown, shoots about 30%. And, yeah, so he's just going to be one of those guys.
And he's a senior standing at 6'1". He's got experience here. He's played Colonel Crawford many times, and you got to think that stat we showed earlier is really sticking in his mind. Like you said, taking it personal. We'll see if Prenger can step up this evening.
Yeah, 17 points per game this year, 17 points per game last year. He was an all-N10 second-teamer. And this whole team, as we did spotlight Prenger, this whole team's got to show up in somehow, some way.
Yeah, you can't win a game off one player. If you could, it would be a much different game. This team's got to work around him, get little points here and there to help get them a victory tonight.
So we're going to take one more quick break, about 4 minutes to go before we start announcing starting lineups and also getting your keys to the game and getting tipped off here from W.R Donnenwirth Gymnasium on, for the first time ever, Rob Sheldon Court. We'll be back live and free on the OH Report.
On me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can move the king. If you ever
Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into the Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Home and kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. Yeah, the first step is showing up, hear them cheer. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. We're blowing up, hear them cheer. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. Ruthless, ruthless. Give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
And just before tip, time to wrap up your pregame show on the OH Report, brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. Jonathon Langdon alongside Ryan Klinger, and we've got a good one here tonight. Classic rivalry. Colonel Crawford taking on Wynford here at the old stomping grounds for the Wynford Royals at W.R Donnenwirth Gymnasium on the newly named Rob Sheldon Court. So new that we had a ceremony before this game dedicating this court. So before we get started with events this evening, want to take a look at the keys to the game. We'll start with Colonel Crawford. This is a team that's going to want to make sure they can find their way in the paint. Payne Degray, he's a big deal. John Degray, his brother, is also a good presence inside. So both of them are going to have to get going. And then also, what are you thinking they need to do defensively, Ryan?
I mean, realistically, you don't want to just be throwing man at Wynford all evening. You're going to see if Colonel Crawford goes into a 2-3 zone, mixes up the looks against a Wynford team.
Wynford Royals, on the other hand, they want to start shooting the basketball a little bit better.
That's really going to be the big thing for Wynford. Come out hot like that. And you say put up there, shrink the Eagles. Get the Eagles in foul trouble early so you don't have to see that 1-2 punch early on.
Yeah, so John Degray, Payne Degray, two brothers that are going to be pretty big problems for Wynford if they are not careful here today as they're getting their talk with the starters with Coach Adam Ginther. First season at the helm for him with this Wynford team. First quarter just about set to go, 8 minutes on the clock. And John Degray will be the one to jump for the Eagles. As it's for Colonel Crawford, the starting five, Brayden, Holt, your player spotlight, Logan Goddard, Payne and John Degray, and then also the forward, Caden Bruner gets the start wearing number 23, closest to our camera at the moment. Also starters for Wynford. Jumping here is Wes Prenger, loses the tip, and Colonel Crawford will take it the other way. Also for Colonel Crawford, also for Wynford, number 10, Hunter Routson, defending the basketball there for a moment. Also number 3, Drew Stanek. And inside fighting with Payne Degray here early in this game, Jackson Vance will get the start. First shot goes up, nearly falls in off the top of the backboard, but now a foul down low will get the first whistle of the evening. It goes on Wynford.
And as you see, Crawford up here early in defense. Never mind, they're going to say it's Colonel Crawford's ball apparently now. Sorry.
Yeah, it was
my bad. I couldn't hear you say that.
No worries.
The players looked confused themselves, thought they were going to press for a second.
Foul went on Jackson Vance, number 13. Final starter I didn't get to, number 22, Drew Johnson, also out there for Wynford. Degray will catch this quick inbound, goes back to Brayden Holt. He has caught fire from the field. Here's his first shot of the day. That misses. Rebound down by Drew Stanek. So Stanek, freshman forward, averages 12 points per game. He is the future of this program. Still a lot of work to be done in his game. Gets the basketball, gives it immediately off. Here is the senior, Wes Prenger. Prenger will be defended by John Degray to start things today, number 11 in black. He is the best defender on this Colonel Crawford team. Stanek gives the basketball up again, sitting on the left wing, looking to get some offense. Johnson puts his head down, drives, loses the basketball, pass to the back door, shot blocked by Payne Degray, and Holt grabs it. He's running. Holt kicks to the corner. Goddard, that's what he does. He shoots threes, and he knocks it down.
And look how quick the Eagles move the ball down the court. They get the rebound, immediately get a good shot out of it. Wynford wasn't even fully back on defense. Great work there by the Eagles.
So the senior, the first one on the board, Logan Goddard for the Eagles here on the road, and a special night for Wynford, trying to play spoiler here this evening. Wes Prenger gets the play call. They'll run it. Crawford right now pretty much face guarding everything at this point.
Yeah, they're in a tight man defense right now, kind of forcing Wynford to dribble their way out of it. And it appears that the Royals don't want to do that. They're really sticking to pass and space right now.
Ball deflected out of bounds. This will stay with Wynford as Goddard, as you said, with the tight defense.
Oh, and you can already see that this intensity could rise very quickly here in Rob Sheldon Gymnasium as the ball, when it went out of bounds, very close to the fans.
John Degray all alone on the break. It's caught from behind, but he's fouled and the basket.
And Degray had some bounce on that one. Defender had to jump up pretty high to even foul him as he rose up on that basket. Now he's going to get to go to the line, potentially make a three-point play.
So the sophomore 6'3" forward will shoot. Talked about his brother, the senior Payne, or no, the junior Payne, pardon me. His brother, just a year younger, he's going to be a problem for that extra year. He knocks down the free throw to make it 6-0 Crawford early in this game. Johnson with the basketball on the Wynford logo. Need to start finding some offense. This team struggles to score as they turn it over yet again, just 49 points per game.
And you said that the big key to this game, number one on your list, was them coming out here early, shooting the lights out early in this game. We're already a few minutes into this first quarter, and that has not happened so far. They haven't even gotten some rhythm.
They haven't even gotten any three-point shots up,
no,
let alone keeping the basketball. Brayden Holt loves to shoot it from the top of the key. This time, though, he'll lob it up, and ball's lost out of bounds by Degray.
And I believe that was a set play. Caden Bruner set a hard screen in the middle of the paint. Might see that one again later.
Here he is again, open layup. 8-0 to start this game. Wynford's got to wake up. This could get out of hand quick. Crossover move. The freshman will go right at Payne Degray, and he gets the lucky roll.
The freshman attacking against the Eagles get the team the first bucket of the game. Love the confidence there.
43% shooter from the field. He shoots the best from three. He's the guy you want to see get going from beyond the arc at 35%, but that time drives in on Payne Degray. Not easy to do that. He's doubled here in the post. Bruner, power step to the basket.
And that's a really smart play by Payne Degray, getting rid of it. Coach always says if there's a double on you, that means someone's open. He found Bruner for the basket.
Caden Bruner, you can pretty much get 2 big plays a game out of him, averaging 3 points per contest. There's one of them early in the first quarter. Another play call here for Wynford as they slow it up. Playing really high off the three-point line. They haven't been able to get too many open looks early in this game. Degray went for the steal. He falls behind and fouls the three-point shooter.
As you can see, Coach Sheldon not happy about that one. I don't know if we're getting that in the camera, but he just got an earful from Coach.
And he's still getting
unnecessary foul there, and Coach is not happy. I don't blame him.
So 3 shots coming for Wes Prenger. He is a 75% free throw shooter from the line. Here's the first. and it falls through a swish. Royals are losers of their last 3 games. Tonight, however, was a night of celebration here in the old Doghouse. If you're just joining us, we just dedicated the court to Rob Sheldon. So another free throw falls for Wynford to make it 10-4. And you got to wonder, you talked about earlier in this broadcast that the momentum kind of already before the game was even tipped was the Royals' way. Can this place produce some magic to try and get a big win against Colonel Crawford and what would be one of the biggest upsets in this rivalry's history?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we saw it lost 18 out of the last 20. You see a big steal here.
Drive to the lane. Prenger missed it too strong. Almost went and got the steal. Bruner the rebound.
And I know the camera's on the Colonel Crawford side, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of Royals fans here tonight that would love to see a big win here for the Wynford tonight.
Payne Degray shuffles his way inside, uses his strength to get the basket. 12-5, Colonel Crawford. Drive the other way, ball lost. Goddard picks it up.
And that's the right thought there. It just seemed like he was rushed a little bit. I was almost surprised his teammate was that wide open.
Holt straightaway 3 off the back iron. Nice rebound by the freshman, Stanek. Newly substituted Dawson Pelter had it for a moment. Drive, floater, shot no good. What a rebound in there by Bruner as 2 players collide. And a foul called on the Royals.
And we're already getting chippy here, and we're just a little over halfway through the first quarter. Harsh foul there. I don't know if you're coach for Wynford, if you like the effort, or if you're a little concerned with it coming in this early on, but either way, it's getting intense.
So the Royals already have 3 fouls to their name, 1 foul for Colonel Crawford. That was the second foul on the Royals' Jackson Vance. He goes to the bench, and now there's a whistle, something on the floor. Is that a lollipop?
I believe that is a lollipop. Who knows how that got out there? Hopefully one of those players didn't have it in their mouth. That's a choking hazard.
I'm wondering how long that was out there before it was noticed, or maybe it was just thrown out on the court.
That's an
I didn't
excellent
see
point.
It's coming from the Sheldon family's kind of group here tonight, literally right to our right. So I'm assuming one of the kids here to celebrate Rob threw it out on the court.
Yeah, one of those kids is turning to their mom and going, "Mom, I lost my lollipop. Where'd it go?"
And it's out on the Wynford logo.
Yep.
12-5 here. Colonel Crawford with a 7-point lead over Wynford. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. Payne Degray holds it out top, gives it up to his brother John. Holt curls around, spins inside, uses his body, left-handed floater, no. What a rebound by John Degray.
And that's just great job by him staying around the paint, knowing that Holt's going to shoot, playing off that, and getting a basket for the Eagles.
Other way, no foul call as driving in was Drew Johnson. Crawford's got numbers. They shift it to the corner. 3, a little off to the left. Rebound by Seth Pope. 3-on-2. Inside, the layup is good, and the foul. Dawson Pelter.
Well, that's a big momentum shift. A missed 3 from Colonel Crawford, a rebound, and now Wynford with the chance to get 3 points of their own. Massive shift there.
There's your OH report replay. Wynford with half of Crawford's points, still early. Pelter 1.3 points per game, misses the free throw. Holt comes down with the rebound. Brayden Holt, good positioning, finds John Degray. He's due for a big night with how he's playing here in this first quarter.
Well, Colonel Crawford goes into the majority of their games knowing they have the size advantage. Between Degray and his brother, those 2 guys are just tall.
Free throw line jumper, shot no good from the Royals. Prenger still struggling to get going. Payne Degray will take it himself, loses it, gets it back outside. Here's Lucas Foy for 3. No, ball tipped out, stays with Colonel Crawford. Baseline drive, reverse layup. Parker Weithman.
And that's a tough one. On the second chance points, you give up a layup that's a pretty one that's going to sting.
So Weithman forces a timeout out of Wynford. It's an 11-point lead for the Eagles here on the road. So pretty well-balanced scoring, but I think the big story is John Degray.
Yeah, it feels like John Degray has really taken hold of this game and said, this is my game so far. Every time he gets the ball, I feel like Wynford is a little scared at the moment. I don't blame them. He's come out gotten rebounds, made baskets, and really done everything you could have asked of him.
Yeah, so scoring-wise, we don't have – this is an old gym, remind you. We don't have scoring on the big screens up here, but we'll check in and get halftime stats for you. And also, one thing we do know is something we observed earlier in the game, 2 fouls on Jackson Vance. That's a big fella for Wynford that they desperately needed.
Yeah. That's going to be a big story of the night is we wanted to see Wynford get Colonel Crawford in foul trouble. It appears like it's been reversed so far.
Home run ball, nearly a travel, doesn't matter, he threw it away. Foy, all alone, finds Holt on the right wing. He'll step through, drive through 2 defenders. He draws a foul, 2 free throws coming.
And you've got to like the aggression from Wynford out the timeout. Part of you is like, why'd they run the home run ball out here late in the first quarter? Because Colonel Crawford didn't expect it. They almost got it done. Would have been big for Wynford, but Colonel Crawford forced the turnover. Now potentially going to score off it.
Holt's free throw will fall short on the first shot. He's got another. Brayden Holt, the league's leading passer at 5.4 assists a game. That's not all he does, folks.
I think Payne and John Degray are part of the big reason he has those numbers.
Yeah. What a luxury it's been for him coming here from Triway and inheriting that front court.
Oh, that's got to make you happy.
19-7, he split the pair as Stanek is triple teamed by Colonel Crawford. Ball swings around. Johnson for 3, way off. Payne Degray collects, gives it right to Holt. Stops at the 3-point line, turns on the gas again. Lost it in the air, still with Crawford. Foy, a senior guard, puts some moves on, goes to John Degray outside. He's got a lane to go, and he lays it in.
And not only does he have the length in the arms, the way he used his legs on that, only took him 2 steps to get to the basket. That's what a coach always wants to see.
Other way, Royals almost turn it over. They find Prenger open for 3. Ball hits the supports up top, so out of bounds it will be for Colonel Crawford.
And that's a shot Wynford likes. I understand some people watching the broadcast might be like, that's a deep 3, but Prenger is their best 3-point shooter, shooting well for them this year. Not surprised he took that.
Approaching 30 seconds left here in quarter number 1. Weithman out to Holt for 3. A big shot to put an exclamation point on this first quarter, 24-7.
And I said Prenger was a good 3-point shooter, but he shoots 30%. Holt shoots 38. Not surprised he drained that one.
There's the aforementioned Wes Prenger getting on the board here tonight. Brings the deficit down to 15 as Holt will hold for the last shot. 10 seconds left. John Degray, it's been his quarter. He stands out at the top of the key. We go to the free throw line now. 3 seconds left. Holt tries again, short. And the Royals will just collect it and hold it for the end of the first quarter. Colonel Crawford 24, Wynford 9. Take a break, come back with the second quarter of action live and free on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
24-9 first quarter, not too shabby for Colonel Crawford here in this cross-county rivalry against Wynford. Royals, they've struggled this year. Those struggles have continued into the first quarter of play as we now start the second. We'll see if they can turn things around.
If you're Wynford right now, you got to wait for that guy to step up. Whoever it's going to be that's going to change the momentum here. There hasn't really been a big moment for a singular player. Honestly, one of the biggest shots we saw is right here with Drew Stanek. I mean, he made a floater that was real nice earlier.
Johnson for 3, shot no good. Routes in the rebound. Getting open again. Here's another look, and that one falls. First three of the night for Wynford, and guess who? It's Prenger.
That's exactly what they want. Get him going, get some shots. Good spacing on that screen that he was able to make that three.
Now the next question mark, can you fix your defense? Because this guy right here is killing you, John Degray.
And that's perfect defense there from Wynford. Hands in his face, straight up, no foul. He just tosses it right over there into the basket.
You're also seeing Wynford start to get used to a little bit more pressure. They're able to get inside the three-point line. That was an issue in the first quarter. But this time, though, they do get into the paint and turn it over. Johnson traveled.
Yeah, you almost have to wonder if Coach told them, be more comfortable, go inside the three-point line. We're not going to get any good shots if we're all standing out by the volleyball lines, because very clearly they have got more comfortable, like you said.
Lucas Foy calls the play for Colonel Crawford. Weithman, the sophomore out top, will pass it back and forth with Lucas. Foy through two, doesn't have much, picks up his dribble, goes to Dom Dean in the post. He's into the game for the first time here in this second quarter, as there is a foul. This one called on the Royals. I don't know. It looked like there may have been a hook there from Dom Dean. They'll call it on Drew Johnson.
I thought that's what they were calling, to be honest. Yeah, I had the call reversed in my head, but it's going to be.
Yeah, Johnson's second. Parker Weithman, nobody picks him up. They'll go right through that zone it looks like they're playing. And now a jump ball. Arrow stays with Crawford. So right now it looks like we're seeing a variation of zone from Wynford, but they're not knowing when to pick up people out in the perimeter, and they're just getting right through those little crevices.
Well, and part of the thing is when you have somebody like John Degray who's having a game like this, everybody kind of sinks into him, and that's giving your three-point shooters and Payne Degray more space to work.
Logan Goddard open for three, and he hits it again. Second three of the game.
Might be a hot zone hunter. He hit that early in the game for the first shot for the Eagles, and now he hits that again.
Rouston stops at the block, out to Johnson, bobbled the catch. 29-12. Here at home for the Royals, struggling to score, struggling to stop the big fellas. And now a 5-second call closely guarded. Good job by Holt to just stay in there and force the referee to count to 5.
And part of that's just experience. He's a freshman, number 3 there for Wynford. I think he wasn't really thinking about the fact that the ref was counting. You got to know that's going to happen, and you got to be able to react to that faster than that.
It's a quick stint from Dom Dean. He's back to the bench. Looks like Bruner got him. Number 23 in black returns to the contest. It's a 2-3 zone right now for Wynford, and Colonel Crawford just going to the corners. That time, though, Goddard misses the 3. In transition, an opportunity for Wynford is rejected by Degray, and he scoops it up. Holt leads the break, thought about popping a 3, kicks it out. Bruner, he'll take one, and it's in and out.
We're playing up pace right now. Let's see if both teams can keep up with this.
Johnson loses the basketball. Another turnover for Wynford and a foul in the backcourt. So that will go on Johnson. Believe that's his 3rd here in the game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised they called that. He just kind of hit him in the side, for being honest.
Holt takes it across the timeline. 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Thanks for joining us live and free on the OH Report, whether on YouTube or Facebook. My name is Jonathon Langdon alongside Ryan Klinger. Camera operator today is Logan Hines. Holt into a double, forced to retreat, goes to Bruner. Bruner looking for Goddard. Missed his 3 earlier, didn't take this one. As we see a travel on Degray, maybe shuffled his feet. Official looked like he's gonna be in our way here in the shot most likely. But yeah, it looked like maybe a little shuffle.
I think he went for a bit of a hezzy move, fake left, go right. Might have shuffled his feet a little bit on that one.
Freshman Stanek up the floor. Goddard will defend him. Stanek thought about a three, ended up passing out of the shot. And this ball tipped out of bounds. Degray with the tight defense.
And right now when you're Wynford, it's hard not to panic. You're down 29-12. You still got to stay in your offense, take good shots. No need to rush things here as you're just a little less than halfway through the second quarter.
Peltzer gets it right back to Prenger, but not before some pressure came. Degray tried to get the steal, couldn't do it. Prenger through two defenders, drives baseline, kicks it out. A three is going to be off to the left. Payne hauls it in. Been locked at 29-12 for some time here. Goddard, he's hit 2 threes already, make it 3.
He's been on. First shot of the game, he made it, and he's been feeling it ever since then. That's big, makes it a 20-point lead.
Colonel Crawford's broken out to a significant advantage here early in this game. Still got 3 minutes to go before half. Brayden Holt leads the transition break and scores +1.
And that's why we highlighted him before the broadcast. Great play by him. Gets a turnover, goes up, gets a 3-point play in the paint. Tough basket there.
Timeout called by Wynford. They want to talk things over, turning the ball over, missing shots, not getting the best looks. I don't know what you can do right now. Just got to lock in here after this timeout. Maybe bring the deficit down. You're down 22 right now. If you can get it to 15, I think you'd like that.
Well, and this is why I'm sitting in the bleachers talking to you, and I'm not a coach. I wouldn't really know what to say in this situation. Obviously, your players are frustrated. You're frustrated. All credit to Coach Adam Gunther, because that's going to be a tough spot to be in. Let's see how he can get these Royals to respond. And if you're Colonel Crawford, I mean, if it ain't broke, right, you just keep rolling along. It seems like you kind of are getting whatever you want at the moment.
Colonel Crawford, they've just been a force this year, not even just this year, just overall since David Sheldon took over. They're looking for their 13th N10 title this year, if they can get it. And right now, sitting towards the top, Mohawk's kind of threatening, but right now you got to think these guys are the favorite.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And part of it's the experience, right? Every year you expect them, and that's for good reason. It's one of those programs that you just believe in every year. You see that all over sports, whether it's collegiate, high school, professional. There's certain teams, certain programs that have strong leadership and a strong culture, and because of that, they win consistently.
And the biggest question mark, I think, from last year to this year, Trevor Vogt graduated. He was their leading scorer last year for Colonel Crawford. But then this guy at the free throw line, Brayden Holt, falls into your lap. An all-state honorable mention at Shelby last year, and he's only a junior this year.
And that's the big thing, right? I mean, it's something that's to be good, you got to be a little bit lucky, right?
Seems like Crawford is lucky more often than many of these other teams in the N10, especially this year. Drew Stanek, tight pressure from Holt. Got to watch those hands. Ball lobbed inside. Prenger wasn't looking. It's a turnover from Jackson Vance.
It's an interesting thought there from Vance, trying to get the defender when he's not looking, but the problem was the offender wasn't looking either.
So another Wynford turnover leads to another chance for the Eagles to expand on their lead. That is at 23. Bruner, he'll square up a three. It's the side of the backboard. Talk about that. We talked about luck. There's John Degray right there for the rebound.
He's in the perfect spot, whether he meant to or not. He gets to be right there where the ball's going to land.
Goddard almost tried to fight to keep that in. We'll roll out. Substitutions set to come in. Peyton Baker, first check-in for him today. The junior 5'11 guard. 2 points per game for him, wearing number 2 in black. Pope passes it. Another look where the intended target was not looking. Degray had a break opportunity, but he lost it out of bounds. And this will be Wynford basketball. It looks like the official initially called it for Colonel Crawford. A couple boos from the crowd, and changes his mind a little bit.
I'll be honest, I thought he just pointed the wrong way. I think he got confused. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's the lamer answer to that question. I was trying to increase some controversy here for the people watching live and free.
That's my bad. I'm not really stirring up the intrigue, being Mr. Nice Guy over here. and they're still up here pressing. I think they're just trying to build this lead as much as possible during halftime so they can maybe just try to coast there in the second half.
Prenger misses an open look. Here's John Degray in the open floor. Prepare for takeoff.
And that just blew the roof off this place.
I think both sides enjoyed that one, even the Wynford faithful behind us.
Yeah, that entire side of the bleachers jumped up in the air. This side did not move an inch.
And a foul as they almost had another fast break opportunity. Pope able to draw it. So John Degray picks up his second foul. Looks like he'll be done. Yeah, both Degray brothers will go to the bench. Their work has been done here in the second quarter with 2 minutes to go and a 27-point lead.
If I'm reading Coach properly, I honestly think Sheldon's trying to essentially get to 35 points before halftime and then just be able to kind of play some of those reserves in the second half.
And that he's been able to do, as here's Peyton Baker. He misses the three. Ball tipped out, last off Colonel Crawford. Also wants to try and get some of those rotational pieces going maybe on the offensive end, because you're getting a lot of production from Holt and both of the Degrays, but you got, once playoff time comes around, you need everybody to be capable offensively.
Yeah, with the current score, you can kind of test your depth right now, see how guys play off. You're going to keep at least one of the Degrays in. You're probably going to keep Holt in, probably Brunner too. Like, one of those four will constantly be on the court probably for the rest of the game, but you might see a lot of reserves, be able to work them in and out and kind of mix up the looks, see who's got some moxie.
Holt's first free throw is a swish. He got to the line after a foul on Hunter Routson. So that gets Colonel Crawford up to 40 points. It was 24-9 at the end of the first quarter. So this is a 17-3 second.
Yeah, I mean, that early on, Wynford had some momentum, but Colonel Crawford came into the second quarter ready to just run the hog wild on them. Even though they're the Eagles, it was hog wild here in the second quarter.
I will say, during the ceremony today, Coach Rob, the one honored tonight for the court dedication, he did say, "David, let's just make this one quick." That's a quote from him.
It's an excellent point.
Just this Wynford team, you thought maybe momentum would be on their way and they could ride it to try and keep this thing close, but so far, Coach David Sheldon's team, has done a good job not letting that happen, going through some adversity here on the road. Brunner turns and scores with the left hand.
I can't tell if it's poetic or sad at the current point where we're at with Coach Rob Sheldon's son really putting on a show here on his dad's court.
I don't know if Coach Sheldon would be proud of that or if he'd be like, okay, this is my time. I need some spotlight. Back off, David.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Maybe that's the real post-game interview we need, is that one.
I feel like we need to get Rob on and talk to him personally about this.
Get down there like David Aldridge, start asking questions.
He is like 15 feet to my right, so we could definitely make that happen. 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. Open in the corner, Routson for three, way too long. Offensive rebound. And a turnover.
And the big thing, that's how Colonel Crawford's won this quarter, is they forced a lot of turnovers. Doesn't matter if they score or not on the one end, they know they're going to get another basket very quickly. And you see that deep three there from Brunner. That's what he was doing last weekend against Cardington.
Brunner, that's a long two. Thought I saw the foot on the line, and yep, that's what they called it. So just a two-pointer. 15 seconds left here in the second. Johnson drives through. Dean got a hand on it. It looks like a foul first.
And this was a very physical game early in the first quarter. You have to wonder if that's kind of going to relax more now that it's a 31-point game. I'm sure some of the moms in the crowd are happy with that.
Yeah.
Probably some dads, too.
10 seconds left here in the opening half. Can Wynford get one final look at the basket? Prenger curls around to the top of the key, extra pass, 5 seconds left. It's thrown up way off. And the clock will run out as Peyton Baker just holds on to it, and they'll go to the locker room with a 31-point lead. Colonel Crawford 45, Wynford 14. Colonel Crawford, best team in the N10. They're proving why here today on the OH Report.
Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into the Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Home and kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Report halftime show. Just a brief one here for you, brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. Jonathon Langdon, Ryan Klinger. What a first half we had from Colonel Crawford. I mean, 45-14. We knew that this team was really good, and Wynford was kind of in a down year right now, but still, Eagles able to execute on the road, as a matter of fact, in a rivalry game.
Yeah, it seemed like early on, Wynford was really going to make this an interesting game. We saw that within the first 4 to 5 minutes. Things were kind of intriguing, and then Colonel Crawford kind of went off to the races. We've seen John Degray so far this evening have 15 points. A lot of those are on putbacks. He's getting rebounds with a lot of those points. He's really been helping out the Eagles tonight. He's not the only one. We've seen Logan Goddard hit 3 threes this evening, too. He's got 9 points.
Yeah, and for Wynford, 10 of the 14 points so far have all come from their star, Weston Prenger. So just got to find something else out there. We've seen a bunch of threes get thrown up. They've been missed. Just got to find extra opportunity from someone other than your senior.
And that's really the thing we talked about early in the broadcast, is that somebody's got to get rolling for them other than Prenger. I mean, Weston Prenger can't do it all by himself, especially against this very good Eagles team. If I'm Wynford, the biggest thing in the locker room, if I'm saying that if I'm coach, is who's going to step up tonight? Who's going to make this a win instead of a loss? Because if you're going to turn this game around, you got to do it within the first 3 to 4 minutes of this third quarter, or else it's kind of shot. You just don't have enough time.
Yeah, and if you don't have any sort of possibility, maybe not winning the game, but also just winning the second half. That's the big thing.
That's a great piece, too. And maybe find a moral victory in this evening. You're down 31 points to one of the best teams in the N10, if not the best team.
And it's a pretty cool moment that they're kind of sitting in right now, because they dedicated the court today. Rob Sheldon court. I did just talk to him. He's going to join us for postgame along with Coach David. So stick around for that. That should be exciting. And it just the fact that this doesn't happen often. This is a sold-out crowd here tonight to watch this court dedication. And, of course, Wynford moving to a new gym not too long ago, a couple of years back. They kind of downsized a little bit with their gym size. In my opinion, just looking at them both with the eye test, it's a much bigger gym, but there's still history here, and it's exciting to celebrate that here tonight despite the score.
I kind of love being at smaller gyms like this. I went up to Tiffin Calvert for a preseason game in November, and it's a really small gym. You know, those like private Christian schools that are really small gyms.
Yep.
There's something fun about it. It almost feels like you're watching Hoosiers. You know, it's got a little special vibe to it. That's what we're kind of getting here tonight. All the fans are packed in together. The band's real loud, gets banging off all the walls. Every time there's a big play, it feels like the whole stadium's vibrating, especially when it's a rivalry game like this and there's fans on both sides. It really adds to the atmosphere of the game.
So you told me earlier you're fairly new to the OH Report. This is your third game, right? Tell me what other gyms you've experienced so far.
Well, so I've been to Northmore.
I've actually never been.
Oh,
so you
okay.
beat me there.
Yeah, I was in Northmore, and then it was Mohawk against, I think it was Seneca, right? Yeah, I think it was Seneca, and I was at Seneca is where I was.
Seneca East.
Northmore I've been many times. I'm originally, well, not originally, I'm still living there. I'm from Cardington, so is where my high school is. So I've been to Northmore many times in the castle.
So interesting. The other two venues you've been to, I've never been to before. But I will break that on Monday. I'll be at Northmore for a girls' game against Mansfield Christian. And also tonight, this is my first time here, so it's interesting. But anyway, Ryan, he's going to be around a lot longer. So exciting to have you here and exciting to watch this game, 45-14 the score. We'll take one more quick break. Be back with the third quarter here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
Third quarter of action here on the OH Report. Here we go with the start. Wynford will take it out. Jonathon Langdon, Ryan Klinger, Logan Hines, your camera operator tonight. 45-14, Colonel Crawford. They jumped out to a significant advantage, especially towards the end of the first quarter and pretty much the entire second as well. As this ball's tipped out, Colonel Crawford will take it the other way. They're now going right to left on your screen.
Crawford's been in man pretty much this entire evening. Maybe there's a few plays they switched out of it, but they stuck in man the whole time, and you can't argue with it as the results speak for themselves.
And I will say, we talked about the sellout crowd here tonight. It's thinned out a little bit on our side, especially to my right. But to the left seems a good amount of people still. I still see some empty seats. This game's kind of broken away from Wynford.
Yeah, definitely there's some Wynford's fans here tonight that was frustrated by that first half. We've had some vocal fans behind us.
Yeah, but Wynford still scoring. They get another three, this time out of Drew Johnson, second triple of the night to fall for the Royals. Brayden Holt one-on-one with the defender, loses it. Throws it up, shot no good. The freshman hauls in the rebound and now is fouled. Looks like they'll pick up Bruner for that, number 23 in black. 45-17, first score of this half went to Wynford. They're going to get the basketball as well, so a good opportunity for them to start out with a solid third quarter.
A potential for them to get a little bit of momentum here, feel good about themselves, and kind of get a bit of a scoring buzz, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, as they really need that spice of momentum.
Nice job spacing things out. A layup is blocked, though, by John Degray. He's had quite the game, 15 points in the first half. Starts things off with a defensive stop. And now Holt drives in. He is fouled. He'll shoot free throws.
I've seen Holt drive a lot this evening. Hasn't really been shot that many threes. He's left that up to Goddard. He's been going inside, getting a foul, and then going to line shoot two a lot this evening.
4 for 5 from the stripe in the first half. He had 9 in those first two quarters. Now makes it 10. Make it 46-17. Third foul for Jackson Vance, number 13 in white. He'll stay in the game, though. Just one team foul each here early in the third. Second free throw drops. The lead is back to 30. Johnson catches it high outside the three-point line. Routson, the freshman, sees that pass fall through his hand. Stanek couldn't hold on.
Made two men in motion to open him up, potentially get Stanek a shot. The freshman there just couldn't hold on to it.
Nearly 2 minutes gone here in quarter number 3. Holt with the basketball. Not too much pressure right now from the Royals. Degray will go one-on-one with the freshman. Out to Bruner. Picks up his dribble. Goes inside. Payne Degray didn't get too much production from him in the first half, but there he is, putting a stamp on this third quarter.
And a big spin move there. He plants his right, puts his left almost all the way around his defender. Give him a wide open layup. That's impressive work.
Payne Degray now has 6 points here on the evening.
Well, they always say big men are only as good as their footwork, and that was excellent footwork right there.
Yeah, he's got some of the best footwork I think I've seen so far this season on the boys' side of things.
Yeah,
on the girls' side, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying elite post work for a high schooler.
Yeah, and on the girls' side, I watched Wynford's girls' team take on Crestview. Brooke Frombaugh, some of the best footwork I've seen on the girls' side of things as well. They beat Colonel Crawford. And Crawford, not just good on the boys' side of things, on the girls' side, they were undefeated until last night. They fell to Wynford.
Look at you giving a shout-out about footwork. I'm loving it. Loving the coverage.
Yes. Layup on the other end. Johnson scores again. 49-19. And I think you and I are both biased in that category because I'm assuming you were a post in high school just like I was.
Oh, see, you'd think that at my 6'2" skinny body, but the problem was with me is I'm a giant baby. I would get completely bullied in the paint. So they were like, you know, Ryan, we're going to be honest.
Logan Goddard is 4-3 of the day.
They're like, you're not really good enough to be a post. We're going to sit you on the bench. I said, that's cool. When I come in, I'm just going to shoot a lot of threes. They said, that's fine with us.
Okay.
If anybody wants to dig up my high school huddle tape at Cardington, you'll just see me shooting it from long range. I don't think I ever made one, though. My career high was 5 points, and that was because I got an and one.
So you drove inside once.
Yeah, I was
in
able
your
to get a
career.
foul.
Look at this crowd over here trying to force a turnover, and they do on Prenger. There's a crowd of 6 or 7 of the 10 people on the floor, all bunched within 5 feet of each other. Holt catches, fires at the free throw line. No, good rebound by Stanek as Brunner tried to poke it away. Almost did it again.
I give Wynford credit. Their defense has definitely stepped up here in the second half. They just still can't find a lot offensively, and that's really what they need when you're down 52-19.
Here's your OH.REPORT replay from that last one where the ball went out of bounds. Not the greatest angle from where we're at. I'll tell you what, we got here end of the first quarter of the JV game, you think, Logan? And the first quarter is when we got here at the JV game. It was already full. There was no room anywhere here in this gym. Everyone was excited for that court dedication tonight. So we got stuck behind the scorer's table. We kind of took some space from the Sheldon family. I believe they had this reserved for his family. Fortunately, not too many other people showed up, so we were good to be down here. But we are kind of where we were put for a reason as John Degray scores, gets himself up to some more points, and we're going to see the second unit come in the third quarter as you see them come to the scorer's table.
That's always good when you're a coach. When you can do that, that's a sign that things are rolling along pretty well, and you're feeling good about your team, and you're most likely going to get a win that evening.
Ball poked away from Vance. Pope trying to fight for it. Vance dives back on the floor. Crawford still has it. 3 minutes left here in the third. Holt gets it right back from Brunner. Had some space, doesn't take the three, goes baseline instead, out to Goddard. This would be number 5, shot no. And a foul down low as Brunner picks it up. Loose ball foul, Wynford will take over the basketball. So a platoon swap for this Colonel Crawford team. You've got Baker, you've got Hill. Brady Hill, his first action here today. Also Parker Wythman, he scored earlier in the game. Lucas Foy and Dom Dean. So second unit gets some reps here in the third against Wynford with a 35 point advantage.
And 35 is a magic number, right? Get the running clock. No surprise we saw the subs at that time.
Yeah, so the clock will run, if you're not familiar with the rule. Clock begins to run when a team is up by 35. It will continue to run unless you're in a timeout. I forget the other situations, but there are a couple of other situations.
I think it doesn't stop running until it's back to 30.
30,
I think
yep.
is what it has to fall down to. If I'm remembering correctly, I must admit, my junior year at Cardington, we did have a running clock a decent amount of time. Granted, that was my signal that I might go in.
That is exactly right. Here's some free throws coming from Wynford. First one does drop through. So Wynford up to 20 after that. Drew Stanek, the freshman. What were some of the teams that you got in against?
It was a Christian school.
Second
so
free throw
Christian
good for Stanek.
was the one. I got an and one there. See, the nice thing is when you only scored like 10 baskets your whole career, you remember every one of them. And a Tree of Life, there was a kid who stole the ball from me. I didn't score this game, but I was very angry because he clearly knew that they were trying to give me the ball and give me a shot. So I just really fouled him hard, and then his nose started bleeding. Their coach was quite angry with me. He thought I did it on purpose. I promise I'm a nice guy. Really didn't mean to. Bit of a frustration foul from me.
Lucas Foy for 3 out top, makes it 57-21. So for me, Ryan, I went to Ashland. At the time, we were a Division I school. So there would be a ton of times where we would face a team that we probably shouldn't have faced.
Oh, okay.
So Ashland was the smallest Division I school at this time. I graduated in 2020. And we would play some of the Toledo schools in the playoffs. And we played two Division I recruits. One of them ended up in the G League. He's in the G League right now.
Wow.
And I got in against that team. And let's just say, I'm just going to stop the story there. You could probably fill in the blanks from there. That was one of the games I got in. I also was not one that played too much. That's why I'm broadcasting right now.
I understand.
7 seconds left here in the third quarter as Wynford holds on to it. 3 seconds left. The freshman from long distance misses. And the buzzer sounds. End of the third quarter in a running clock situation tonight. Come back.
Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here we go with the fourth quarter, final 8 minutes on the clock. Colonel Crawford 57, Wynford 21. Colonel Crawford student section 11 every second of this here tonight. It's been all Eagles. As you probably expected, just looking at the two teams' records here today. Wynford, they've got a lot of building to do, but you can see the pieces kind of being laid out. And one of them is defending this inbound, number 3, Drew Stanek. I wanted to talk about this guy quite a bit because he averages 12 points a game. First year in varsity. That's a pretty darn good number. And he's a little lighter than a couple of the other guys on the court, but he's got 3 years to work on that. And I just feel like once he can kind of build out his frame and he can start to gain some more confidence offensively, he's going to be a really good piece for this Wynford team if they can put some help around him.
We saw him make some mistakes there early on. He had those back-to-back turnovers where it hit him right in the chest, and those are the things that more experience and more time, more confidence are going to fix. I agree with you. He'll be a very complete player within maybe just a year or two.
Yeah,
we might see him put up some major numbers as even a junior.
Yeah, Stanek bringing the ball up the floor, number 3 in white. He's at 12 points per game coming into today. Also 4.2 rebounds, 1.3 assists. But he's not really a primary ball handler for this team as Wynford turns it over. And Crawford comes the other way. Foy out top. He's already hit a 3. He'll put some moves on the freshman. Crossover. Lost in the air. Had to kick it out. Gets it back. Drive inside. Shot no good. No foul. Student section wanted one.
I think that's their guy. That's the man they wanted in
Brady
this
Hill.
entire game. That's Brady Hill. They love him. The senior, and that's their man. I think they want to see him get some points tonight.
Number 4 in black. He's got 6.5 minutes to do so. Other way, Wynford. It's a short fadeaway jumper. Nearly 2 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Dom Dean in the post, kicks it out, open for 3 in front of the student section. Peyton Baker. Correction, a long 2 on that shot. So it's 59-21. Just didn't quite square the feet. That comes with time sometimes. Just got to get comfortable being out there. There's a 3 missed.
Intramural basketball, Bolden Wallace. I play with a dude who can never get his foot behind the line. Sometimes guys just have trouble with that spacing.
Here is Brady Hill. We talked about how much the student section loves him.
He's got to be someone's older or younger brother or just a best friend because they go nuts every time he's in.
Foul on the rebound. So it looks like Crawford is going to commit the foul. Dom Dean is called for it. See some subs come in and talked about Drew Stanek. Was wondering if they were going to keep him in just to get some varsity experience as a freshman, but no, he goes to the bench. Looks like his night is done as Gavin Kohler goes in to get him, number 11.
Yeah, and I think Wynford might be switching things up. 5 minutes left in the fourth, running clock. They might be letting some of the reserves just kind of have their time.
Floater through the lane, a little long. Rebound by Colonel Crawford. Don't have number 20 on my little cheat sheet. That's Reed Johnson, who's checked in for Wynford. Number 20 in white. Another 3 opportunity, that time missed by Baker. Ball still being fought for. One inside by Crawford, counted in the foul.
That's the play you love to see from reserves. Cool, confident, and collected on that play. Hauls in the rebound, kicks it over to his teammate for a basket. Great job there by Dom Dean on that rebound, setting up Walker Kramer.
Yeah, Walker Kramer. This is a guy we haven't seen at all on the varsity level. Seen him play a couple JV games. This is my third time seeing Colonel Crawford. And you can tell that he's kind of going to be a piece next year, too. If he gets some varsity experience, number 00, he's defending out top right now. But Crawford, they just, as you said earlier in the broadcast, luck has to be on your side sometimes, and they've just been blessed and fortunate to get some bigger guys on their team.
Yeah, I don't know what they're putting in the water over in Colonel Crawford, but whatever it is, it's working because they just have a bigger team. I mean, I saw them last weekend play Cardington. Cardington only had one guy who even kind of stood up to their level. The height difference, and also not just the height, the size. Their guys are filled out. We've got some taller kids on Wynford, but they just don't have the mass of some of these Eagles. I don't know if they got like a weightlifting program over there or what.
Shot made by Jay Stuckman, but he traveled before the shot. And it definitely comes down to he had a good football season. They went 9-4 this year. So something about that football program's helping, and it's translating over to basketball because Crawford, 9-4, it's pretty good for their standards, and they're used to getting into the basketball court a little earlier than they did this year, so it took some time to acclimate. But still, they've been really good, and the record tells you the whole story, now going to go to 9-1 after this game.
Yeah, they're known as primarily as a basketball school, but, you know, those guys are all athletes, right? If you can get that basketball team to come out, and I'm sure you're going to get some good football players out of that. It seems like a lot of smaller schools, if you got one good program, you got a lot of good programs.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of schools that we're seeing that with in our area. Crawford, of course, one of them. Can't not include them in this talk. Also, Danville, they're definitely improving things. They're more of a football school. They made the regional championship this year, but basketball getting a little bit better. Also, Northmore, of course, Hillsdale. Yep. Hillsdale made the Final Four, or it made the championship, state championship in football. And they went off to a 5-0 start, but lost to Chippewa last night. They're still going to be a big force.
And here comes a shot from their man.
Brady Hill.
They're going nuts.
The three-pointer for the senior guard. Have a night, Colonel Crawford. With 1:41 to go, this ball will go out of bounds. Clock continues to run as the lead is swelled to 44.
And as you can see, Parker Weithman, the sophomore, really smiling at that. It seems like even the players like to see Brady Hill have some success.
Deep three from another freshman on this team. Missed a little short. Crawford getting the order from David Sheldon, no shots. And this doesn't usually mean no shots necessarily. Like, you're still going to get free throws because they're going to foul you now. But also it could mean only layups.
I've never seen anyone decline the 2 free throws and hand the ball to the other team, so you're definitely correct. It might not mean no shots exactly, but I would be surprised if we see Wynford attempt intentional fouls. Seems like they were kind of waiting for the Brady Hill 3, and they got it.
And I think it's a perfect bow on the gift this has been tonight, to have quite the night, even when on a night where Wynford was celebrating Coach Rob Sheldon. David Sheldon has stolen the show.
Yeah, him and his team start off 2025 on a very, very high note, putting up 65 on Wynford.
20 seconds left. Not going to see any shots here from Crawford unless they're wide open. And the ball thrown away. Royals throw it right back. And under 10 seconds left, Brady Hill gives it up. Weithman will hold to end it here tonight. Old gym for Wynford. Unfortunately, same problems occurred tonight. 65-21, Royals fall to Colonel Crawford. Stick around. We've got a fun post-game interview for you here soon. The Sheldon's gonna talk shop, and I'm just gonna be a kind of a mediator, I think, to try and keep the two controlled here tonight. Your MVPs are gonna be coaches, and you're gonna hear them when we come back live and free on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to be entering its second year of media sponsorship for local nonprofits.
We've partnered with Crawford County Now to offer nonprofits a podcast and a radio spot.
First Federal Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into the Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program, and it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Home and kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. Yeah, the first step is showing up, hear them chill. Yeah, the first step is showing up, now we're here. We're blowing up, hear them chill. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. Ruthless, ruthless. Give it all you got, you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless.
Time now for your Burkhart Farm Center players of the game. This time, it's a little different. It's a special night. We got coaches of the game. Rob, David, both of the Sheldons, two rivalry teams, and you guys have both built tremendous programs. You back from 1979 to 2003, and you living in the present right now. I'm going to start with you just to talk about this game a little bit, Coach. Coming in here, it was a big night for Wynford, but you guys from the get-go established things, and how's it felt as a program to kind of just have your way with Wynford, especially here tonight?
You know, first of all, it's not coach of the game, it's called good players. We're fortunate to have good players that have bought into our program, and we've tried to instill what my father did here and when I grew up in this gym in diapers. So, and our kids have responded, and our community allows me to coach them up and do what we need with the discipline. So it was a great start. We talked about bringing energy right out of the gate because of everything going on. You know, we're one possession at a time, and our guys did that, and we came over and took care of business like we needed to.
It was a special presentation for him. Did that take you back down memory lane a little bit? Talk about that.
Oh yeah, seeing those guys. There was guys like Phil Gelbart that I looked up to as a kid, and the state tournament runs, and then his assistant coaches. You know, grew up, a lot of scouting trips, and then the coaches from across the state that were here. It was just a lot of great memories of how we grew up, and we didn't know any other way to do it. And It's why our family's doing it all around with my brother Chris, my brother Mike, and my wife Amy. And, you know, it was a special night, and it's one we'll remember the rest of our lives.
Yeah, well, congrats to you on the win. A big night for you, just with everything else we talked about. Let's bring in Rob. He's the man of the hour here. And he told me he's not a big fan of the spotlight. So it's just going to be tonight, folks. This is the most you're going to get out of him right here on this interview, brought to you by Burkhart Farm Center. So, Rob, it's just a big night. And you had a great talk before the game. It's on our feed. We'll go back and listen to it. Just what's circling through your head here tonight as you see your name on this court?
Well, just being back in the house. I mean, this house, we named it the House of Thrills. Again, just like David said, you know, you don't win national championships or league championships just by coaching. You have to have good players. And this school had a run for 50 years of a lot of all-Ohio great players that were program players. They bought in, they accepted roles. I mean, Colonel Crawford right now is where Wynford was in the 80s and 90s. That's exactly the same. And I'm really, really proud of the job that David's done, but very, very humbled to be honored tonight.
And what did it mean just seeing all those players? You couldn't even fit them out on the court, everyone that came back to support you.
It was really cool. You know, that's the tough thing about coaching. When the kids walk out their senior year, a lot of coaches don't get to see their kids again. This is the first time I've seen some of these guys in a long time. And to share the time in the back hall, shucking and jiving and laughing and everything, it was a great night.
And then we talked about it off the air. One thing you left out of your speech that Travis texted me about is talking about that half-court shot to beat Coach Baylaw back in the day. And just some of the big moments you had.
Joe was standing down at the end when it was all over, and Matt Slate drove all the way back from Florida to be here. I was going to bust Joe Baylaw big time and say, hey, Joe, can you get All-State Slate on the Joe Show? So it would have been good.
All right, and then we'll circle back to you, David, just to get back to this season. 9-1 start. You guys are looking as good as ever. Tough loss to Crestview. I was there for that game. A couple of things, still getting out of football mode, but now moving forward with the games you've gotten through, you're now 6-0 in the N10. How do you feel about where you're at?
You know, we're making steps. You know, it's just the first of the year. We still got a long way. You want to keep going when you get to the end of February. And, you know, we got a big league game next Friday. Mohawk's undefeated comes to our place Friday. And Mohawk, you know, is a senior-dominated team that won the football league, that is a very good basketball team. And that's what you want to see this time of year's growth, and we've done that since you saw us at Crestview when we were just coming out of football and 8 practices. So we just got to keep making progress and getting better. We're never satisfied. We just got to keep doing that as we move forward, especially towards next Friday night.
Well, Dave, Rob, it's been a pleasure. I'll tell you what, it's interesting seeing him reflect on memories, and then you're straight in business mode still. We got a big season ahead. So both of you being here, awesome night for you guys. I hope you remember it for so much time. Yeah, thanks so much. We'll be back on the OH Report next time.
Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
First Federal Community Bank is excited to offer the Ohio Home Buyers Plus program. And it's meant to offer an above market interest rate to help the potential home buyer in their journey towards home ownership.
We've got great rates, especially for first-time home buyers. Here at First Federal Community Bank, we are here to make the home buying experience smooth and stress-free.
As a community bank, we're excited to offer this account to help fulfill the dream of owning a home. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Home and kitchen supply, we're building our future with you.
Contractors and do-it-yourselfers, this is Jeff Flowers from Home and Kitchen Supply, here to remind you that we are your best source for kitchens, baths, windows, doors, floors, and more. Quality products, friendly service, great prices. You owe it to yourself to give us a try. You will be glad you did. That's Home and Kitchen Supply, 163 North Diamond Street, downtown Mansfield. We're building our future with you.
Time to wrap things up here on the OH Report. It's been a special night, and we've got your post-game show brought to you by Spherion Mid-Ohio. Let's get to work. Jonathon Langdon, Ryan Klinger, time to wrap things up here tonight. And Colonel Crawford, 65-21. Let's just take this off real quick. So Colonel Crawford, they come in, significant win, kind of what you expected from a team that's struggling out of Wynford. But Coach Sheldon, on the night his father's honored for Wynford, gets it done for Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, puts up 65 points against Wynford. A really strong win. Feel like everybody on the Colonel Crawford side of the gymnasium has to be going home happy right now, especially the players. You got to get the fan favorite, Brady Hill, get a three-point there, and that was the last shot of the game for them. That's a good feel-good win for them, even though it's in opponent territory.
Yeah, and it's fun when I was talking to them, just hearing Coach Rob reflect on his time with Wynford. Of course, he's been out of coaching for over 20 years now. And then you've also got his son, Coach David, who's very much still in business mode, barely had a voice to talk to us, but he was so grateful to have him join us for that special little moment just to cap off this night. But got to feel good about Rob and just the honors he got, and then where this Colonel Crawford team is going, because with now seven divisions in Ohio high school basketball, you could go much deeper in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the thing for them is obviously a team this successful, you're kind of assuming they can win that sectional. I think probably they're looking district semis, district levels. That's probably when they're going to get that's probably where they're aiming towards, and potentially even higher.
Well, that's going to do it for us here from Wynford High School at W.R Donnenwirth Gymnasium with Rob Sheldon court for the final time for a high school game, probably for a while. But it's been fun tonight. Crawford runs away with the victory. Thank you so much for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Sponsors scrolling through your screen one final time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. We'll see you next time, live and free on the OH Report.